is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.
I was looking into the Dolphins' moves in free agency. And, you know, one of the reasons why I gave them an A minus in free agency and why I think they made the right moves. And I think they got themselves what I think is reasonable players, and eventually I think it'll be a productive group for them considering the kind of money they're spending. And this is what I mean by it. Okay? Because you just saw where Clowney turned down $17 million a year. Right? He wants like 20 plus a year. Right? Because he views himself like that kind of player. And look, those elite defensive ends, you're going to be paying 20 plus in today's world, right? You're going to be paying 22, 23, 24 million, something like that for those kind of like nasty ass players that can get you 14, 15, 18 sacks. Correct? So I wanted to kind of break it down for folks because we give you the grade, we tell you we like the players, but then let's break it down in other ways. Okay? Let's just say, all right, on Kyle Van Noy, who's not an exceptional pass rusher, Ogba, who's not an exceptional pass rusher, still a little raw, maybe can get there eventually, and then Shaq Lawson, another guy that's not considered an exceptional pass rusher, which is those guys that you would be paying 20 plus million a year, correct? And they'll get you 15, 18 sacks. Well, just let's go with the salary for 2020. Okay, the first year is very manageable for Van Noy. It's $6 million. Ogba is 7.5 and Shaq Lawson's 10.3. You know you're paying $23.8 million for 3 defensive ends. If they each get 7 sacks each, that's 21 sacks. Just 7. It doesn't have to be crazy. I think 7 is actually manageable for all those guys. All 3 guys can end up somewhere in that 6 to 8 range. And instead of counting on one guy that could break down and one guy doesn't make a rotation, I love the way the Dolphins structured this because you get 3 guys that you can use in rotation. I'm sure they're going to draft somebody else, plus what they have already, so they'll have several guys that can get after the quarterback. Year 2, it jumps to $32 million because Van Noy's salary goes to $15.2 in the second year. Shaq's drops $1 million from 10.3 to 9.3. Ogba is only a 2-year deal, and it stays at 7.5. So at 32, okay, you're basically paying $10.6 million per guy on average. Let's just say, throw it out there. Again, for rotational defensive ends, not a crippling price. And if you can go out there and get, again, 21 sacks, you'll be fine. Because they'll do other things. They'll be good against the run. They can help you in coverage. They'll get their tackles. They'll get some tackles for losses, all those kind of things. But I just wanted to kind of explain it to people because you may not look at it that way, but that's kind of the way you should look at it. That instead of spending your money all on one guy and overspend on just one guy, you end up getting 3 that give you depth, that give you versatility, okay, which is another thing because some guys may be just exceptional against the pass, not good against the run, or vice versa. Here you got guys that can help you out in different areas. You can use them in different ways. And the salaries aren't really crippling. And like I told you, after year 2, the Van Noy one is when you can get out of. Ogba, you're done in after 2. That's why you have opportunities to draft a couple of guys over the next couple of years, develop those guys, and then they eventually will take over for these guys. But like I told you also, They were also really smart because this isn't a pass rush heavy draft. It's a pass receiver heavy draft. Okay? It's several tackles that you can get offensive tackles in this draft, but you're not really going to find a lot of tight ends in this draft, and you're not really going to find a lot of pass rushers in this draft. It's just not considered to be a strength. It's kind of a weakness of this draft. There's other areas that are strengths. Those aren't two of them. And that's why I thought it was also very smart for them to take care and not go crazy in free agency, not go cap crippling in free agency, which is what they did. They brought in manageable deals overall. And in their oldest player, which is Van Noy, who's 28 now, they got a deal that is very flexible that they can get out of that 4-year deal after 2, which again, really, really smart. But I just kind of wanted to break down the Dolphin defensive ends because that might help you look at it a little better. And those of you that maybe even looked at it in a negative light, maybe now I'm helping you understand a little bit more of what they were trying to accomplish by getting these guys in the salaries that they got them at.